Welcome to The Ordinary Show and welcome to 2025. Hope you all have a great new year. I would like to introduce a fellow of mine in real estate industry, Bilal Sharif. And we're going to talk about how he grew up in Georgia and what drew him in the industry of real estate. Welcome, Bilal.
Welcome. Thanks for having me, Meher. Pleasure to be on the platform, of the Ordinary Show 2025. Looking forward to an amazing year. Who's Bilal Sharif and what got me, into business and real estate? Well, I'm a native of Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised. Grady baby for those that are from here really know that's kind of like the highest regard or certification that one can have from being from Atlanta. Born and raised to parents Rashad Sharif and my mother Vanessa Sharif. Dad's from Philly, mother's from Noonan, Georgia. Came here. I have, was raised with 4 brothers and 1 sister.
Wow.
Later 5 brothers and 2 sisters. Actually just lost my first sibling. But
I'm sorry for that.
No worries. Just looking forward to celebrating, the life and the memories that I've had, with him. But, I guess my background and what really shaped my influence, getting into business and, also my personal values. I have to give a lot of credit to my family structure and really shout out to my mother and my father. My mother was afforded the luxury of being able to be a stay-at-home mother.
Beautiful.
And I think that is what really gave us the platform to develop at such a young age, to experience so many different things, extracurricular activities. My first introduction to music, and that is where I actually met my mentor in real estate. I think I got my old soul we were raised actually on the lake in Southwest Atlanta. Shout out to Plainville. So Plainville Drive is, on Wildwood Lake. And I remember
Atlanta is so cosmopolitan and busy and traffic. So it was like, how would you describe it?
So it's like I got the best of both worlds, being able to be raised right actually in the city of Atlanta proper, but then also being raised on a lake. I got a mix of, kind of the city and the country feel, and, also the hustle and bustle once you got on the streets, but then the serenity of the lake, which allowed me to really kind of focus and zone out and have some reflection time and time to really think about what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be. I recall catching that first fish when I was 6 years old.
Wow. With
a homemade fishing pole I made with a bamboo stick that I got from the backyard. Put a kernel of corn on on the hook and strung the line to the bamboo stick. And I sat there for 3 hours at the lake looking at that crappie. And there was a guy that was, older than me, always fished there, telling me they're not going to bite that. I sat there for almost 3 hours, and later that fish, bit that piece of corn. I caught that crappie, and it was on from there on out. I love the lake. It also taught me a valuable lesson. Stick to it even when others say things aren't possible. I learned that early. And just the serenity of the lake. My dad was exactly 30 years older than I. Mm-hmm. And he was working hard. I would see him, sometimes, I would see him get up at 5 a.m. because that was before I was up. But getting up at 5 a.m. every morning, going to the post office, leaving there, going to cut hair at the barber shop.
Nice.
So he had a heck of a work ethic. And so I picked up, I think the same work ethic from my dad. My mother was always, a visionary, someone that, also started different businesses I saw in the house, whether it was, making things, selling donuts, stationery, incense, oils, things of that nature. So I think I got my entrepreneurial, qualities and a lot of them from my mother.
From the early young days.
Yeah, early days. And, from selling my own stuff, going half with my dad on a lawnmower when I was 13 years old, cutting all the neighbors' grass. I've always had an entrepreneur spirit, and really attribute that to my upbringing, with my mother and my father, mix of hard work and entrepreneur.
That's beautiful. Yeah. That's you gave me such a vivid explanation of how you grew up. I just can picture it in my mind. So tell me, while you were growing up until now, What do you think is your greatest achievement so far and also your failure? Because without failure, we don't have achievements.
Absolutely. Greatest achievement and greatest failure. You mentioned something. Without the failure, you don't have achievement. So, in essence, was it really a failure? I look at a failure as a kind of a misstep, and so sometimes a misstep or a setback is a setup for a comeback. And if you don't take advantage of those missteps, those mistakes, or those quote unquote failures and take the opportunity to learn from it and see them as a benefit to where you're headed, then that's a missed opportunity. So I definitely just wanted to say that about, failures and achievements. But I look at achievement, almost as like, success, and people have varied definitions of success.
Everyone has a different definition of success.
Absolutely. So, I can speak about some of my personal successes of, purchasing my first home at 23 years old.
Wow.
9 months after I graduated college, that home being paid off, in less than 10 years of me having that home, and all the things I've done professionally, whether that's being president of the Empire Board of Realtors, I started my own brokerage, had my own branch of the HUD-approved NID office, all those different things. But what I really consider one of the major achievements are the amount of people that I've been able to inspire as well as influence and turn on to different opportunities.
So your network is your net worth, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, fast forward, graduated college, music education from Bethune-Cookman College, now university, the first in the history to graduate in 4 years with a music education degree because I was so eager to hurry up and come back and get started with the real estate because, he was in my ear just about every week. And so I came back, started facilitating deals, bringing him people to purchase the homes. Because by the time I graduated college, that same mentor was buying and selling 20 houses a month.
Wow.
Buying and selling.
20 houses a month.
20 houses a month, no exaggeration.
So imagine if he's making 40K multiplied by 20.
Oh, yeah. I mean, easily he said 200,000 used to be a slow month for him.
Wow.
Easily. So just being able to kind of plug into the system and what he had going on as a mentor and bringing people and seeing the challenges that he was having when people would actually get the homes, because he was just doing straight wholesale, not the wholesale that people do now where they just putting something on the contract, not really having the money and trying to find somebody with the money. He was buying and selling with real cash. So he was only putting about, quickly by that time, $7,000 to $10,000 on average on some of the lower price homes, while he had maybe a couple that he was doing the flips himself, but he was really doing more of the wholesale deals.
The wholesale deals.
Yes, and so seeing that people were actually getting stuck on the contracting and the renovation, I saw that was a need that need to be filled. So my brother that was 15 months older than me, he was already getting into plumbing because, when he mentioned that in high school, I'm like, yeah, do it, because I knew I was going to be in real estate. My little brother said he wanted to do heating and air, HVAC. I said, yeah, do it. And so
it was all in the family.
Yeah, absolutely. And so by the time I came out, got us all together, and I picked up the other pieces because I had, been doing landscape since forever. So I started my landscape and contracting company, and I filled in the dots in between, the other things, plumbing or HVAC that had, they had covered. And so, I started my.
So now, we still have to tell to the audience, what are you currently doing right now?
Oh yeah. Look, I get caught up in the story. So let me go ahead and speed up and jump to what I'm doing now. So fast forward, from doing that, from investing, market went down. I actually got licensed as an agent or broker, went on to selling REOs for the banks, and then became a HUD-approved housing counselor. And so a lot of times you can't manage what you can't measure.
Yes.
And so I've done different things so I can measure what it takes to create businesses around all of the things that I've done. So now I'm broker of advanced realty concepts, where we focus on consulting investments, developments, and property management. I have a property management business. And I'm also associate broker at eXp Realty.
Wow.
Where I've powered up eXp Realty or Team ARC Partners Global, where I'm building my nationwide sales team and then going international as well. And so we have, I think I looked a couple days ago, it was up to about 56 agents.
Beautiful.
Mostly in Atlanta, but I have a strong team, as I mentioned, in Raleigh, Durham, and Vegas.
So, yeah, this is so impressive. So tell me, what, are the practical advice you would give to the younger generation who want to enter the field of real estate? And where do you think, the real estate trends are going for the next decade?
Younger advice to others looking to get into the industry and where we're headed in the next decade. The younger advice I would provide to others was really just try to find a mentor, someone that's doing what you would like to do. And, sometimes people just say, all right, well, I want to, just pull your coattail. I want to, just kind of come and just listen. No, actually jump in and offer to assist in some type of way. I think that's an easy way to get in and say, how can I assist you? Yeah, I would like to get some, mentorship, but how can I assist you? So just offering those that are where you want to be the opportunity to assist them, to collaborate, because they can help you to minimize those mistakes because they've done them or they've, come across them.
Yes, they've already walked the path.
Absolutely. So definitely save your money. Try to get your credit up. Become an asset to the person that you would like to get the mentorship from. So that's the advice I would give to a person that's looking to get into, real estate or any industry that you're really trying to break into.
And they all think that we're going to get into real estate and we're going to be making a six-figure right now. But there's no free lunch. You have to work hard for it.
You have to work hard for it. You have to sacrifice and also realize delayed gratification. That's something else that my mentor really instilled upon me.
Especially in real estate. There's a lot of delayed gratification.
Definitely delayed gratification. And even once you have that first closing as a agent, broker, investor, whoever, have that discipline not to go and spend all of that, but to utilize that to help put yourself at a better financial position and not initially buy those cars and all those things that you might see others that you've been wanting, but that delayed gratification comes from being able to take that money and re-up on more opportunities.
That's a very deep thought, yes. And what are the trends you're seeing in the next decade in real estate?
Well, the trends and where we may be headed in the next decade, a lot of times people say, they don't have a crystal ball to kind of know where we're headed, but I say my crystal ball is this head right here.
That's what you always had, right?
Absolutely, but
my husband has a crystal ball like that too.
Oh yeah. And so, I've been pretty spot on, not 100% accurate,
Absolutely.
but been pretty spot on since I've kind of gotten started in the industry and being able to project. But that comes by actually getting involved and, knowing what the trends and seeing what's coming. And, there are some things that that affect those things. Of course, we mentioned we didn't mention it, but the current, presidential, election, whether it's Republican, Democrat, kind of says how money will be moved in the public or private sector. So we can anticipate definitely less regulation, still more opportunities and things to flow in the real estate sector, becoming more of a trusted advisor and having more of a diverse skill set than what's out there right now.
Which was out there right now.
Correct.
Very well said, actually. But thank you so much, Bilal. It was great having you on my platform, The Ordinary Show. It was very insightful from your story you told us about, growing up in Georgia and what the market trends are. And I always, with my HR background, I always swear on mentorship. There's nothing like mentorship. Why do you need to create a wheel? Why do you need to invent a wheel?
Absolutely. And I just appreciate the opportunity to come here, to hear from ordinary people. If I can do it, you can do it.
I agree.
And commend you for coming over here and, kind of setting up shop, not being from Atlanta, but coming to the Atlanta metro area and getting right, busy in everything that you're doing, the connections that you're making and, in commercial real estate and residential real estate and all the above.
And with my HR background, like you had a musician background, I had an HR background, but this is the market where we're operating, and it's exciting.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I learned the late gratification from real estate.
There it is.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate the opportunity once again. Pleasure for having me.
Thank you so much.